Good morning, and a very warm good morning. And today we are on our session number 483. Wow, what a long journey to take together. It's a wonderful day here, raining cats and dogs, so the weather is not so bad. And we are ready for the day. I just wanted to remind you about who you are. Remember, you are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being who deserves to be loved and respected for who you are. And every time you forget that, I think it's time to remind you of that you are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary person. And why are we coming here every morning? Definitely to remind ourselves about that. And we are coming here so that we can have a life of ease, joy, and glory. Because we deserve that, isn't it? As a human being, I deserve to have a life of ease, joy, and glory. Whatever might happen. A lot of people say life is a struggle. Sure, if you like it to be, let it be a struggle. But still, I've seen people, and you look at their life and you think that they are struggling, When you talk to them, they say, no. I'm enjoying, I'm playing 100%. Sometimes you go and watch these people playing football or playing cricket under the hot sun, and you look, some people say, wow, look at them, how nicely they're playing. Some people say, look at these fellows, they're standing in the sun and sweating, right? But you ask the player what he's thinking. He's saying, I am only thinking about one thing, that I've got to win. I've got to score the goal. I've got to play my game the best way possible. So at that time, is he thinking that there is a struggle? For him, playing the game is a life of ease. And when he scores a goal or not score the goal, he plays the game so that he has joy of playing the game and he gets the glory that follows. And I believe each and every one of us deserves to have that. And we're going to have that, a life of ease, a life of joy, and a life of glory. And why be in the empowering conversation? Because in the daily life, sometimes for some people, most of the time, we are so unaware and we get into the survival mode, also called the auto mode, where we are only doing what we have to do, not what we would love to do. So if we can shift from that state called I have to do to I am creating my life. And what life are we creating? A life of ease and joy. And if you look at the way we are programmed, it takes some effort to do that. No? Because in the default mode, our old habits have taken over. So it's not we who are running the engine. The habit is running the engine. In the create mode, we see what we are doing and then we create what we desire. Now, what pushes us into the default mode is probably there's so much of bombardment of negativity that we are picking up all the time from people, from circumstances. So definitely we need something to counter it with. So we are here in EMC to counter that. Instead of getting stuck in the cycle of complaining and blaming and worrying and comparing and judging, it's better to be a possibility seeker, isn't it? संभावनाओं को खोजने वाले लोग बने. And possibility for what? Possibility to be able to achieve your goals, fulfill your desires. We need to keep looking for possibilities of that. Otherwise, I think the mind gets into the no possibility mode. The mind gets into seeing why it is not possible we would like to move into how to make it possible. So we come here every morning to do that. We are here to increase our focus and energy. So I'm going to select 2 or 3 people today to share with us, how is your journey going? How have your last few days been going? What have you found out? What have you discovered? And what are you planning to do next, or whatever you want to share? So I'm going to pick up 3 people. And first of all, since Chidambar is here after a long time, let's ask Chidambar, how's your life going? We haven't seen you here for a long time. Would you like to share with us?
Yes, sir. Good morning to all. Actually, since when I joined the EMC, my life is going in this way. I'm actually able to realize my thought process and thinking, and the responses of body, and what is the peace and happiness gives to us, and the what the universe is ready to give us in different manners. I'm able to identify those things, sir. And when it comes to the point of default mode and active mode, actually I'm able to convince my mind and body to react to my thoughts and what I love to do. This is the way it goes, sir. Actually, practically, when I am overloaded with the works and all these things, I was just very struggle to do the my works. I was struggling, but when there are some tools are there, some tools you have given. After using those tools, I'm just feeling relaxed, and I'm convinced myself to do all those things in each way.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you very much for sharing that. Leena ji, would you like to share? Go ahead, please unmute yourself and share. Okay, I guess she's busy. Let's talk to Ramaji. Ramazen. All right, I guess he's also busy. Let's talk to Samina. Samina. Ooh. All right, then we listen to Neeti.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. So my journey has now, since you brought up this question, I reflected on it in the past 30 seconds, and I think I am overjoyed with the kind of journey I have had since I've started EMC. As you're aware, I was very much into retired mode of life with all responsibilities, struggles, everything there. I did have a desire to break free, but I didn't know how to. That's when you called up, and I just listened to you from that Get What You Want, and then the EMC and everything. So from being just at home and taking care and managing things, I have moved to doing all of this with far more ease and joy. Yes, some recognition is beginning to come in now. And I have also been able to break through on my career front, which was totally blocked for a long, long time. And it's only when I started this, and I still remember from Get What You Want, I had written my goals. And for my career, at least the first goal, short-term goal I wrote, that I have achieved. And the long-term goal seems to be on the horizon.
Wow.
And I always had this desire to spiritually grow further, though I did not know how, where. You know, I needed some guidance, I needed some inputs. And that is what I'm getting from here. That is what I'm getting from you. That is what I'm getting from every EMC member when they share and when they talk about their challenges and their accomplishments. In some big or small way, they help me find another achievement within my own self. So I would say there is at least a minimum 70% transformation in me. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Any one more person? I think we will ask Arvind to share with us. I'm especially interested in what is showing up for you since our yesterday's session. So anybody wants to talk about that, you can raise your hand. We were talking about removing and working on your interferers.
Yeah,
So,
good morning, sir.
good morning, Arvind.
Good morning, everyone. So, as far as my previous life and when I started with EMC, so there has been a lot of shift in my energy levels. I had been, a lot of default mode. So most of the time default mode, and where I used to be a very creative person, and when it shifted, I had no awareness of that. So after joining the EMC and sir being in touch with you, I have got that awareness, and now I can realize what modes I am operating, what are my energy levels, and I have got the support of a lot of tools which I practice, and this all helps me to realize what journey I am going on and where and what modes I am operating. So this is definitely bringing me some kind of ease and awareness to move forward. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, I just want to remind you, the reason I ask people to share is that when you listen to them sharing and what is becoming possible for them, you may also realize what else is possible for me. Or sometimes you might realize, oh, yeah, I also got that, because our unconsciousness in our way of living, sometimes we don't even notice what changes are occurring. So if you notice and you acknowledge them, you create more. Anything that you acknowledge will be more, right? If you start ignoring and not giving your attention to something, it becomes less, right? That's why I always say focus on accomplishments, focus on achievements, focus on what is possible. What do we people do? Our mind gets stuck with fear, anger, disappointment, uncertainty, getting afraid of that and all, attracting more of that stuff in our life is not worth it. So my specific question to all of you was that yesterday's session, which we did, and I'm sure you remember something of what we did yesterday, what did you do with the learnings of yesterday? How did you use that? So who would like to talk about that? Don't worry, it's not a test. Whatever learning you got in yesterday's session, what did you do with that? What is the impact of that? Yes, Neeti.
So I have a deeper realization that I have been able to get over a lot of my interferers. I won't say they're completely gone. There are some interferers that do creep in. But then the impact of it is on a much lesser scale. It does not hog up my entire mind, and it does not hog up my entire day and put me into a total default state. I can say it is about like 25% of my mind and attention gets occupied with that. And because the rest of my mind is free, I'm able to use the tools and get out of it much faster. So that is one thing very positive. And I felt very happy realizing that I have reached this far on my journey of tackling the interferers, though they're coming out in a more subtle manner, but the victorious journey is on.
Very nice. Thank you very much. See, one thing about interferers is that it's like, the body becomes dirty and you have to wash it every morning. So one interferer, you remove an interferer, you start moving to another level of performance. Okay. Now, because you've moved to a higher level of performance, there are chances that more interferers will come. So it's never going to be that interferer will never come. And that's one side of it. That means if you take on a bigger task, a bigger interferer might come. However, maybe the same type of interferer which held you back yesterday or day before yesterday may not be the same interferer which comes today. Because after all, we are growing and we are evolving. And thank God for that. So what we have done with you is that we've started, or we have accelerated the process of your evolution. Okay? Instead of stagnating, which is something which can happen very easily. Stagnation and decay can happen very easily. You are moving out to growth, possibility, movement forward, you know. And that's such a wonderful thing. But we need to keep our eyes and ears open to identify any interferer that comes and deal with it as soon as it comes. Because the longer the interferer remains, the more of your wonderful life experience is getting wasted. How wonderful it is, you know, to be able to move forward, you know, in the direction of your dreams. Now, before we do anything else, I'm just reminding you that you are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being who deserves to be loved and respected for who you are. If you believe it, you will treat yourself like the VIP in your life. You know, we give special treatment to VIPs. So do we give special treatment to ourselves? If not, maybe because you don't believe that you deserve to be loved and respected for who you are. Maybe you don't believe that you're a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being. So, what energy, space, and consciousness will you be that would allow you to believe in yourself and allow you to believe that you are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being? And anything times a godzillion that comes in the way of that, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Yes. Right, wrong, bad. You are a wonderful, magnificent, extraordinary human being. What energy, space, and consciousness can you be that you believe that? And anything times a godzillion that comes in the way of your believing it, will you destroy and uncreate it all? Right and wrong, good and bad. Boys, boys, and now, in our journey to fulfill our dreams, interferers will come. Okay? तो इस भ्रम में मत रहना कि कभी बाधाएं और रुकावटें नहीं आएंगी. They will always come. So what? Our attitude is, so what? Now what? If an interferer comes, what else is possible? How do I get rid of my interferer? The moment you see it, get rid of it. However, something can happen in life if you allow these interferers to go on stopping you. You will find that you got affected by that. Will you be affected by that if you believe what's written on the slide just now? Neeti, would you read it for everybody?
Yes, sir. If you are looking for the joy of living instead of getting through life, you are not heading towards death. You are creating possibilities for future. Access consciousness.
Yeah, let's reflect on that for a moment. So when you read it again one more time, you know, line by line, Neeti, and speak about what it says to you.
If you are looking for the joy of living instead of getting through life.
Through life.
So if I am looking at what opportunities the life is presenting me on a platter and making use of it rather than living through my life mindlessly, You are heading towards, you are not heading towards death. You are creating possibilities for future. So I am creating my future. I am structuring a life that I desire. So the life is constantly offering on a platter opportunities that I can avail of. And sir, in today's session, I must confess this at this moment. I have been speaking to you for the past couple of weeks saying that I am not being able to think. My mind is totally blank. I'm not being able to structure words, expressions. Yesterday's assignment that I sent you, that was also very skimpy. But what is coming through to me in today's session is it is not a it is not a transition state where, I am so tired that I'm not being able to think. I think now my mind is ready for me to put in fresh new ideas. It has got into the mode where I can create rather than just use what is coming around. So that is what is coming to me through today's session on interferers. What I thought was an interferer is actually an opportunity. That is what is coming.
So let's look at it. Great. Thank you so much. See what it says. If you are looking for the joy in living, kya haseen zindagi hai, we are looking for that. Instead of saying ki yaar kat rahi hai, I'm just getting through life, I'm waiting to die. If you're looking for the joy of living, then you're not only just heading towards death, Most people are just trying to fill the gap, Marna to hai, ek din, I have to die one day. So I have to do something in the meantime. That's how many people live, Jeena hi padega, duniya mein aaye hain to jeena hi padega. Jeevan agar zahar hai to peena hi padega. You get it? But if you're a guy who wants to really just say, hey, this is this life I've got hold of for the moment, and I'm going to use it, squeeze it, enjoy it, experience it. Will you have time to be worried about anything? You'll just be creating possibilities for the future. Now, I am saying this to you today because, when you keep getting bombarded with the negativity, when you get bombarded by disappointment, when you get bombarded by interferers, blockages and stops, it happens sometimes. When you're really committed to something and you're trying hard and you get stopped, it doesn't feel good. Right? That's why many people don't try many things. They don't like to feel, bad like they do. They don't want to feel that disappointment. They don't want to feel that discouragement. And if it keeps happening again and again, a person gets discouraged. And if a person gets discouraged, he's definitely going to fail. So let me put it slightly differently. If a person allows himself to become discouraged, he will definitely fail. Please note, if you allow yourself to become discouraged, if you allow yourself to get stopped, then you fail. If you allowed yourself to stop even before you started, because you're afraid that you might fail, you already failed. शुरू करने से पहले ही अगर आप रुक गए इस डर से कि मैं हार जाऊंगा, तो अब तो आप हार ही गए ना. But that's what a lot of us do. We allow this discouragement to take over. So I thought, let's talk to you about discouragement. Just a reminder for those who might have forgotten. The ability, or let's say being alert and alive and aware that you are feeling discouraged. The problem is discouragement is it comes in very insidiously. You don't even realize that it's come. All of you have heard that frog story. When the frog is put in normal water and they start heating the water very slowly. Discouragement is like that. It comes in very slowly. It's like a demak, it's like a termite. It's eating away at your insides, and then batang, it comes and hits you. Better to realize it and notice it the moment it happens, isn't it? What do you say? If something is eating you away, better to realize it fast and deal with it. Na? Why are we waiting? So, we'd love to move from discourage to encourage. No? So, what is discouragement? It is a loss of energy. Discouragement pushes you into a negative energy state. You will notice that you, instead of expanding, you are contracting. So when you're contracting, you are blocking more of the energy that you need to get out of this situation. See, when you are feeling discouraged, normally it is due to certain adverse circumstances. Now that's the time when you need to be more open, to see more possibilities. You need to be open to seek support. You need to be open to listen to what's possible. You will notice when you are discouraged, you are looking at no. It's easy for you to say. You will hear only negative. Even if somebody is trying to encourage you, you will hear negative. Your brain will say, oh, he's trying to be condescending. मेरी जगह में आके बैठो, तुमको पता लगेगा, तुम्हारे लिए बोलना आसान है, मेरे हालात तुम नहीं समझ सकते हो, and all that stuff, right? You will never understand my plight, blah, blah, blah. So, you notice that blue arrow pointing downwards, what does it say? Discouragement is a result of interferers. When the interferers start piling up, अब आपके रास्ते में रुकावटें खड़ी होती जा रही हैं, आपके सामने एक दीवार खड़ी हो जाती है, there's a wall in front of you. Wall of what? Wall of interferers. Then you are discouraged. Correct? Second is, your attention is fixed on those things which oppose your goals. Your attention should be fixed on how to get over it, how to make it possible to deal with it. Instead of that, your attention is fixed more and more on the things that are opposing your goals. Your attention is fixed on resisting the situation. And as you know, if you're resisting any situation, your mind is fixed on the negative. Your mind cannot see anything positive. If you're resisting any situation, if you're judging any situation, you will not see possibility, no? And unless you can see possibility, you cannot get out of that situation. Your attention is completely fixed on obstacles. I mean, what's the point going on looking at the obstacle in front of you, say, there is a wall in front of me, there is a wall in front of me, there is a wall in front of me. Will the wall go away? What is the use of saying, I can't do this, this is too difficult, nobody is helping me, how will I do it? They will not let me do it. See, this is all that stuff that's going on. How is it going to help you? So the question is, what will help you, isn't it? Let's understand a little bit more about discouragement. Something which makes you lose courage. It deprives you, takes away something, makes you lose your courage. To reduce it, to obstruct it. Now, if you don't deal with your discouragement very quickly, my dear friends, do you think it's good for you? And I'll tell you, this state of discouragement I have seen with people for years and years. They'll sing that song, no? Dukh to apna saathi hai. that discouragement has been living with them for so long that they even start thinking like that, singing like that. Dukh to apna saathi hai. सुख तो है छांव ढलती आती और जाती है, दुख तो अपना सोती है. अच्छा है साथी तो डील करो ना उसको. So if you don't deal with it, it will definitely lead to failure. Now, what is the definition of failure? Failure is a man or woman's inability to achieve whatever goal they only decided. You understand? World has no right to decide what your goal is. You decide your goal, correct? But whatever your goal might be, if you are not going to achieve that, that's called failure, no? If you gave up on your goal only. Like a lot of people give up. Meri zindagi mein khushi hai hi nahi. There can never be any happiness in my life. They've lost, yeah. Now, whatever logical excuse, rational excuse, whatever excuse you may have for your failure, you will fail if you allow discouragement to remain there. The real reason for failure is only discouragement. It is not what happened. जो हुआ उसने आपको नाकामयाब नहीं बनाया. The fact that you got discouraged, that made you fail. The situation never makes anybody fail. If you allow the situation to discourage you, my dear friends, then you will fail. So discouragement, friends, is also a big interferer. The tendency to allow ourselves to be discouraged is the biggest interferer in our life. Now, what is happening with a lot of people is they are discouraged, but they carry on anyhow, half-heartedly, Hona to kuch nahi hai, magar kar rahe hain, I am putting in my efforts. See, a discouraged person's action will be different from a person who is encouraged and enthusiastic, is it not? On a scale of 0 to 10, if an enthusiastic, hopeful person is on a scale of 10, in action, I'm saying, if you're measuring the actions of a person on a scale of 0 to 10, the person who's discouraged, at what level his actions will be? Kunen?
Could be 0, could be 1 or 2, very low levels.
Exactly. So is he not going to fail anyway?
Yes.
So if he's going to give up, he might as well give up completely. Na, ye half-heartedly karenge. That's why in many companies, when people resign and there is a waiting, they have a relieving period of 1 month or something. I always tell companies, if he wants to resign, tell him to leave immediately. Pay him for 1 month or 2 months, whatever it is. Because this discouraged fellow is not going to do anything. He'll stop other people also from doing. Because the vibrations of discouragement, it doesn't remain with you only, no? If you're discouraged, it's just going out, spreading discouragement in other people as well. So dealing with discouragement is an attention game. You understand? You remember I told you our attention is not in our control. So if you have trained yourself to use your attention wisely, आपने दम बनाया हुआ है कि ये मेरा ध्यान है, मुझे अपना ध्यान कहाँ लगाना है, मैं वहीं लगाऊंगा. I'll put my ध्यान only where I want to put it. Then you can deal with discouragement quite easily. All right. So what do? You refocus your attention from negative to positive. So at the time of discouragement, your mind is fixed on those things which are discouraging you. You want to get out of discouragement, focus your attention on what else is possible. how to deal with this situation, how to make it possible to get out of it. That is a better use of your attention. बोलते हैं ना, you should invest your money wisely. I am saying invest your attention wisely. There's no point in focusing attention on things that will discourage you more, kill your action, kill your enthusiasm. Focus it from negative to positive. Next one, instead of seeing problems, look for opportunities. You know, these possibility seekers, they will see a possibility even in the disaster, you know. Some obstacle is coming, they'll say, good, it has come. Let me see what I can learn from it and use it. Have you heard of this donkey story? A man wanted to get rid of his donkey, so he decided to bury the donkey. So he dug a big hole, all right? He dug a deep hole and put the donkey inside the hole. And they started throwing the mud in order to bury the donkey. Donkey was smart. Every time they threw the mud, he would step on it. They kept on throwing the mud, but he would step on it. And as the mound of mud became higher and higher, they would throw more mud, he would step on it. And by the time they filled up the pit, the donkey had stepped out of the pit because he stood on top of the kachara that they threw down on him. He just shook it off, stood on it. That's how the possibility seeker works. Instead of seeing the problem, he looks for opportunities. Now, instead of wasting time on pointless personality conflicts, see, when you get into a discouraging situation, lots of times there are people who are making you discouraged by arguing with you, putting you down and blah, blah, blah. And you get more and more trapped into their game. Have you noticed that when things are going bad for you, there will be some personality conflicts with some people. And that will push you more into discouragement. So instead of doing that, put your actions which are aligned with your goals. You will quickly say, why am I wasting time having, this conflict with this person? Let my energy and attention be used for actions which will help me to achieve the goal. मतलब बहसबाजी में पढ़ने से अच्छा है अपना ध्यान वहां यूज करो जिससे कि कोई संभावना बने और कोई एक्शन हो जाए जिससे मेरा लक्ष्य पूरा हो जाए. So we've got this very simple formula here. We call it the rule of 5, okay? Whenever discouragement happens. So I want Rotarian Dr. Kunain Shahidi to read the first one.
Thank you, sir. The first one is, whenever you get discouraged, the tool to deal with discouragement is the first rule. For every situation where you feel discouraged, complete 5 actions that will lead you to your success.
Good. So give them the example as well.
Yes. So there are 4 examples given. The first example is, if someone discourages you, you go out of the way to encourage 5 people. So look for the people and take action to encourage them so that you will also be encouraged in the process. And the second example is, if someone gives you bad news, give good news to 5 people. So you don't get impacted with the negativity. Instead, you convert into the positivity and share the good news to other people. And the third example is, if someone tells you that what you want to do is impossible, say you can do it 5 times. That tell yourself that you can do it. The other person is telling it is impossible. Don't listen to him and tell yourself, no, it is possible. I can do, I can do, I can do, I can do, I can do 5 times.
Yeah, like you can even say, if anybody can do it, I can also do it.
Yes. And the last example is that make 5 positive statements for every doubt you have. So your mind might be telling something silently. So listen to your mind and tell no, you are not telling the truth, and convert that negative conversation of the mind into the positive statement by creating something positive. Great. Thank you, sir.
For every doubt, thank you, Gunen. For every doubt you have, make 5 positive statements. So, for example, if your doubt is, oh, will I be able to do this or not? 5 positive statements is, yes, I will do it. If people can do it, I can also do it. I have done it in the past, I can do it now also. Definitely, I will do it. Who says I can't do it? I am going to do it. 5 statements. So if you have a doubt about something else, for example, will they be willing to talk to me or not? Or your mind says they will definitely not even take my call if I call them. What will you say to yourself? Give me an example, someone. If your mind is saying they will not take my call if I call them, what are the 5 positive statements you will make? Come on, come on, come on. Who's going to say? Yeah, go ahead, Nidhi, you can say.
I'm going to keep trying till I break through to them.
5 positive statements. So that's one. I'll keep trying until they take my call.
Yes.
Or
I have to find a way of getting through to them. I have to find a way that they speak to me or listen to me.
yeah, more powerful would be to say, they'll definitely take my call. I'm sure they'll take my call. Why would they not take my call? They're looking forward to take my call.
Yes. Okay.
Because see, the counter intention which is there, you know, that's what has to be dealt with. So 5 positive statements will get you into action. The important thing is, I don't care if they may take your call or not. That's a different matter. But have you noticed that if you're not even making the call, then they'll definitely not take your call. No? So these positive statements will spur you on, you know. It'll poke you to at least make the call and be more open to whatever might happen. Got it, guys? So we've got some more tools for you. See, the basic idea is you refocus your attention from resisting the unwanted situation to creating possibilities of dealing with that impossible situation. Then it cannot discourage you any longer. So please remember, you are not trying to handle the situation as of now. You're feeling discouraged, fine. What are you doing? You're not trying to handle the situation. The only thing you're trying to do is refocusing your attention on the positive until you see opportunities and possibilities. So you're not trying to handle the situation as yet. First, you have to get out of that negative discouragement state. You got it? So you're refocusing your attention on the positive until you see possibilities and opportunities. And then appropriate action will show up. Because results will always follow appropriate actions. The right action will produce the right result. And the openness to accept whatever result will come. You understand? Sometimes God knows better what's better for you. So be open to receive whatever result comes. But do not allow yourself to be bowed down and cowed down by the discouragement. Okay, so some more steps are there for you, which you can use. Number 1, tell 5 people what you like about them. You know, when your mind is discouraged, one way to get out is catch hold of 5 of your friends and tell them what you like about them. Now, like I tell Kunen, I like your voice. I like the way you articulate things, Neeti. I like Hasina, I like you because you're so positive, you know. I like you so much, Venkatesh, because you have such a zest and zeal for life, right? Like that. Pick up 5 people. You can catch hold of one person, tell him 5 positive things about them. Pick up the second person, tell him 5 positive things about them, and so on. You'll see how your mind will start shifting to a positive direction. Next one. Simply walk up and down the streets 5 times. By the time you finish walking up and down the street 5 times, you'll feel much better. And focus your attention on 50 objects to get your attention in your control. It settles your mind, you feel so good. Itna sukoon aa jata hai. Write down 5 successful things that others have done. Discreate the feeling associated with discouragement. Very powerful. One of these days, I'll have to teach you how to do that one more time. For those who have forgotten or those who did not attend the session in which I taught it. So having said that, anything anybody would like to say, share, or ask? We've got 1 minute to end the session today.
So regarding this interferer, whenever I find something interfering, I take it that I'm going on the right path, sir.
Yes, very good one. Thank you for sharing. Because if you don't do anything, there'll be no interferer. No? Very good. Thank you so much. Yes, Shanti ji. Go ahead. Shanti ji, please go ahead and speak. We are waiting for you.
Most of the interference are not outside, it is inside. It is our self-talk that is interfering us. That is wasting our time and energy.
Yeah, so how would you use these tools which I taught you today to put your self-talk in a positive direction?
Sir, actually, I just came across one book about the monkey.
Hello, don't tell us about the book. Answer my question, Shanti
No,
ji.
sir, just 2 minutes. It's about the monkey theory, the monkeys which are all inside our mind, which are interfering with us, which that takes away our attention from from now and here. They put it in somewhere else. They want to revenge people. They want to fear us. And there is a fear monkey. There is an envy monkey. There is a judgmental monkey. There is a red monkey. I have noticed that these monkeys are continuously working inside our mind.
Exactly.
They are taking the focus from us. They are taking the energy from us. So when we can do something only when we come to the now situation, present situation.
Okay, can you stop for a moment now, Shanti?
Yes, sir.
Now the tools that I gave you just now, 5 minutes before,
Yes, sir.
they will bring you to the now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So please don't forget that.
I just resonate with this or with whatever I have read yesterday in that book.
Wonderful. Can you put the name of the book in our group?
Yes, sir. Definitely.
Along with the name of the author?
Yes, sir.
We should all buy that book and read it. I will also read it.
Yes, sir. It's a small book.
Okay, good.
I'll do it, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. So, Kunen, can we have your shairi? By the way, I just want to tell everybody here, I am doing an Access Bars workshop on the 12th in South Bombay. So if any of you or any of your friends, you may like to ask them to come and attend it. Okay. All right. So Kunen Saab, today Chaturvedi ji is there or he's not there?
Is it 12th August or?
12th of August.
Okay. Where can I get the information, sir?
It is there on the group. No, read the group. I'll send you again if you want.
Okay, sir.
तो त्रिवेदी सर तो नहीं आया सर आज।
कोई बात नहीं, आज हमारे विट्री सर भी नहीं आए
पता नहीं
और रमा सर आए मगर नहीं आए. So Shakti is there, very nice. Why don't you give us your share and then we shall say bye-bye for today.
Okay, so thank you so much, sir. Great reminder to manage the discouragement. And शायरी जो याद आ रही है जनाब वो ये है कि I think the willingness is very very important. अगर सच्चे दिल से चाहो तो इंद्रधनुष भी जमीन पर आता है। आपने बैकग्राउंड में इंद्रधनुष लगाया हुआ है। अगर सच्चे दिल से चाहो तो इंद्रधनुष भी जमीन पर आता है। कितने भी क्यों ना घिर जाए बादल, कितने भी क्यों ना घिर जाए बादल, वो अपने रंग फिर भी बरसाता है, वो अपने रंग फिर भी बरसाता है। तो that's how we can manage discouragement.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that, and thank you everyone on this great morning. And by the way, I just wanted to let you know that we have an Access Bars facilitator by the name of Mr. Ramamurthy in Bangalore. And we have one facilitator called Sagar Acharya in Kathmandu. We have one called Leena Kelkar in Bhopal. And we have one certified facilitator, Sukhdeepak Malwai in Mumbai also. And did I leave out anybody, I wonder? We've got one in the making in Salem also.
And Shakti in Hong Kong.
Of course, Shakti, so she's in Hong Kong. Right now she's in quarantine.
And two more coming up in Dubai.
Yeah, I'm coming to Dubai soon.
Sure.
And make sure that you become one in Dubai, as well as Vetrivel. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a wonderful day. Deal with whatever comes, and remember, we can do it. We're going to have a wonderful day. Right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, sir.
Magnificent, extraordinary. We deserve to be loved and respected. Bye-bye. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Bye-bye,
sir.
sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you.